For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Shannon. I'm meeting with best-selling international author Mark Gimenez to discuss his latest book, The Governor's Wife. Your original career path was in law, which you practiced for 10 years in a Dallas law firm. You've since left the firm to practice solo and write. What inspired you to write, and why did you choose this genre?
When I was in college, I did some creative writing in an English class, and the professor encouraged me to go to writing school. But being quite poor, the other professors encouraged me to go to law school, and I was accepted in a number of schools, and it was just something you couldn't pass up. As far as the thriller genre, I was not trying to, with my first book, write a thriller. I was just trying to write a story about a lawyer, and today if you write a story about a lawyer, it's a legal thriller. So the genre sort of chose me, and with each book I've tried to make it more of a thriller, but that's how I got into it.
And do some of your cases, do they translate into the stories?
Sure, everything I do influences my stories. The first book was about a big firm lawyer who was appointed to represent an indigent criminal defendant. When I was practicing, I was appointed to represent an indigent criminal defendant, so I used that experience in the book, yes.
Your latest book, The Governor's Wife, has been described as heavily political, especially in the first few chapters. Was this inspired by the current political climate in the US?
Sure. You know, our political discourse is very divided today, and I wanted to include that, but it's not my politics, it's the character's politics. Once I decided to have the governor's wife as a central character, then the governor would be a character as well. Once we have a governor, we need to see what the governor does each day. He makes commercials. Here's what he would be saying in the commercials. Here's what he discusses with a political advisor. Here's her politics, but they're not my politics. So,
many reviewers see the making of The Governor's Wife into a movie. Who would you like to see play the characters, and why?
Josh Brolin, I would love to be the governor, and then his real-life wife, Diane Lane, would be the governor's wife, and I thought of her specifically when I wrote that character. I really did.
Why specifically?
Because she played a role in a book, in a movie called Lonesome Dove. I don't know if you've seen it here, but it was big in the States and big in Texas, and she just has the perfect look for my governor's wife.
So was The Governor's Wife inspired by Diane Lane?
No, The Governor's Wife was inspired by our real governor's wife of Texas. I had a chance encounter with her, a meeting with her at the 2005 book festival. Walked around the corner in the governor's mansion, ran right into her, and I was at the time I thought about this book for 15 years. I was trying to decide how to center the book and what character to build it around. And when I turned the corner and ran into her, I saw The Governor's Wife, and I said, that's it. That's the title of the book, and that's the central character. The governor's wife, not the governor, not someone, the governor's wife. So she inspired it, and she's a very gracious person, and she looked like a very reluctant politician's spouse at the time. She may or may not be, but she looked that, and that's what I saw. And that moment is what inspired that book.
I noted that The Governor's Wife is only available in the US and Canada as an e-book. Why is this?
Well, because people in New York still haven't gotten over the last Texas governor who was president. So I felt pretty sure they weren't going to be interested in publishing a book about another Texas governor who wants to be president. And I didn't want to wait around to find out, because I wanted it out as soon as possible during our election year for the interest in politics, which is at an incredible high right now. I mean, that's all that's going on right now, is this political election. So
thank you so much. That was international best-selling author Mark Gimenez discussing his latest book, The Governor's Wife.